good evening to you all. Thank you for watching UBC Television. With me, Wadulo Mark Arnold Mugalu Muhammad on sign language. Welcome to the UBC News Tonight, and without further ado, let's take a look at the headlines. As celebrates his 76th birthday. Military police clean Machinje division as part of the Terehe Sita preps. A structurally weakened ADF in Democratic Republic of Congo. And Kampala set for 2 weeks water shortage. You're very welcome. Thank you for joining us at this time for this bulletin. You'll excuse us for the sound. Now, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni in our first story has lauded senior citizens for their role towards the socio-economic and political transformation of Uganda during their years of service. This was during the 76th birthday of veteran political leader and entrepreneur Dr. Eli Karuhanga in recognition of his national and international service for the country. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, represented by the former Prime Minister Amama Mbabazi, where he urged oppositions to oppose government with reason, as these details share with us.
I'd like to celebrate you and thank God for your life.
This is how Dr. Eli Karuhanga was received at Sheraton Hotel in Kampala. It was his birthday, the 76th of a kind, that saw fellow elders join him in this celebration.
You are a symbol of the many Ugandans. So why are we not proud of our country? This country was built on your dreams. You were here, who are in your 70s. The dreams you had when you were young and energetic and fiery. So what are the dreams of today's young people? Is it what Professor Mamdani called 1, 2, 3, 4? 1 wife, 2 children, 3-bedroom house, and a 4-wheel drive.
Karuhanga's birthday was a surprise masterminded by renowned entrepreneur Odrek Rwabogo.
I thank God that I have led this effort to honor you when you can still hear me. And my family and I are very grateful that I met you when I was a young boy.
Elders ranging from businessmen, veteran politicians and other professionals were also honored. Dokoro woman member of parliament Cecilia Atim Ogwal was one of them.
You are talking about mentorship. Mentorship is a two-way process. It is a process where the youth must be willing to listen to the elder, and vice versa. But what I've discovered is that instinctively an elder wants to give wisdom to the youth. But I must tell you, the youth of today are very difficult to manage.
The initiative to honor elders was also welcomed by the head of state.
I hope this moment of honor will inspire the younger generation of leaders to exert themselves and do the right things for the country for when they are active today. It is good these old people now, as they grow old and retire in a secure country than the past, where many had to run away or even die in exile.
In a recorded message presented to the audience, Museveni lauded elders for their service to the nation.
At some stage, we should perhaps annually remember each of these groups from the 1960s to date in various sectors of the government and the private sector. We have given some of these people medals, but this kind of gathering, I've been told, where the old meet the young in a mentorship session is also good, and it should be promoted.
Museveni was physically represented as chief guest by former Prime Minister Amama Mbabazi. He equally joined others in honoring Dr. Karuhanga and other elders.
This moment of honor will inspire the younger generation to exert themselves and do the right things for the country, for their time.
21 elders were honored for their service, with each walking home with 10 million Uganda shillings. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Next one is one of the earliest local administrators.
Vice President Major Jessica Alupo is in South Sudan, where she participated in religious peace mission for the country. The religious peace mission is being graced by Pope Francis and the Archbishop of Canterbury. President Salva Kiir is hosting the guests, and on arrival in South Sudan, Alupo was received by Uganda's ambassador to South Sudan, Brigadier General Ronnie Balia, and other officials at Uganda's embassy in South Sudan.
The most top religious leader in the world, his visit has given inspiration. The visit of His Holiness the Pope has given courage and confidence to the leaders in the countries which have been suffering from conflict, because the leaders have been encouraged to continue pursuing their interests in achieving peace and security in their countries, specifically DRC and South Sudan. South Sudan, being an immediate neighbor to Uganda, His Excellency the President of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, has walked all the miles together with the people and the government of South Sudan in pursuit of sustainable peace and security for South Sudan. In the African Union Security Committee, Uganda is a guarantor of the peace agreement of South Sudan. And therefore, it is a desire of Uganda to ensure and to encourage and to persuade the people and the government of South Sudan, together with all their friends and neighbors, to ensure that the peace agreement is implemented up to the latter for the good and the sustainability and the prosperity of the people of South Sudan. The meeting which His Holiness the Pope has conducted today, attended by His Excellency Salva Kiir, the President of the Republic of South Sudan, and all the 5 Vice Presidents of South Sudan, together with the Archbishop of Canterbury, is a clear demonstration that the leaders of South Sudan are very determined in implementing the provisions of the peace agreement expeditiously.
When you kiss our feet, my brother Dr. Riek Machar was outside the country. Today, both Dr. Riek and I are seated here working collectively to implement the revitalized peace agreement we signed in 2018.
The God in whom so many people of this beloved country believe now, is time to say no more of this without ifs or buts. No more bloodshed, no more conflicts, no more violence, mutual recrimination about who is responsible for it, no more leaving your people at rest for peace, no more destruction. It is time to build, leave the time of war behind, and let a time of peace dawn. As St. John Paul II said 30 years ago, in Africa, solution must be found to African problems. Together with my brothers with whom I have come here as a pilgrim of peace, we wish to offer you our heartfelt prayers and our support so that South Sudan can experience reconciliation and change of direction. May its vital cause no longer be overwhelmed.
And may God's blessings and peace be upon the resilient people of South Sudan.
With the blessing of the Pope and the Archbishop of Canterbury and the other religious leaders who have today graced the very many ceremonies in South Sudan, I am extremely hopeful that we are soon experiencing tangible results and which will lead to the sustainable peace and security of South Sudan, which will enable the people of South Sudan to build their institutions, also to deliver services very sustainably to the people of South Sudan. For example, building health facilities across their country, schools across their country, and also enhance the tourism sector in South Sudan.
Now, bringing you back home, the National Resistance Movement in Kasese district has embarked on a strategy to regain its support and trust in the district ahead of the 2026 general elections. The NRM chairperson for Kasese district, Dr. Crispas Chiyonga, says that their strategy is to demystify the propaganda by the opposition. A detailed report.
Kasese district is one of those few areas initially under NRM that lost the opposition wave, especially during the 2016 general elections. This, according to NRM district chairperson Dr. Crispas Chiyonga, was due to propaganda spread by the opposition with cultural leanings.
In NRM, to tell lies is criminal, politically criminal, to tell lies, because we are revolutionary. We came to liberate, we are freedom fighters. You cannot give people freedom through lies.
However, in a move to restore the party's position at both local and national level, the party has embarked on strategies and dialogue with key former party leaders.
There is a leader who stood somewhere in Mariba that he was receiving 130 convertees. My intelligence shows that this individual was talking to his own supporters, not more than 30, and said that they were NRM.
He says they have so far had some of their former party leaders return. Chiyonga dismissed allegations made by opposition about NRM party that it failed to eradicate poverty.
Can't achieve food security or destroy poverty through lies. So in NRM, to tell lies is criminal.
He has called upon leaders to encourage all Kasese residents to desist from politicking but take advantage of the parish development model to develop themselves.
Because this time the program is being implemented directly closer to the people. It is at the parish level, it is not at sub-county, it is the parish level.
Now, the army has been asked to work hand in hand with civilians for harmonious coexistence. A senior army officer in Ntungamo district, Lieutenant Colonel Kafureka Gumizamo, says that men and women in uniform should realize that they are servants of the civilian population.
We know that it is fine. Now we want to call it another name. We know that it is fine.
While overseeing general cleaning activities in Ntungamo municipality in preparations for Tarehe Sita celebrations, a senior UPDF officer, Lieutenant Colonel Kafureka Gumizamo, said the army, police and prisons cannot work without civilians.
Military, UPDF and police and prison, we cannot work without civilians. Civilians are the center of gravity. The uniform, the guns, the salary, they are all from civilians. So we cannot work without civilians. So if you are there doing your work, please work with civilians. Are we together? Yes. Yeah, we cannot work without civilians. We are here to celebrate this activity, activities. So, members, if in your the touch commander.
In his remarks, Major Stephen Biaruhanga, the political commissioner based in Muyenga Barracks, said Tarehe Sita is celebrated annually as a means of brokering unity with the civilian community.
When we are in the area as a unit of UPDF, we always handle civilians. We treat civilians. We give them medical services. That, for instance, in Muyenga, where you come from, we treat people. We give them medicine. We give them counseling. We advise them. Those with complicated diseases, we refer them where it is necessary. But our medical services, they are always on the ground. They work with district. If there is any immunization exercise, our army comes in and supports civilians. We work together as a team.
The resident district commissioner Ntungamo district congratulated His Excellency the President of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, and his fellow team who went to the bush, mostly the army, upon their victory.
Credit UPDF for the maintained discipline. They are recognized internationally as a very disciplined army under such a clear leadership of Musei. This is the time when we are back to the community to remind each other of how we can work together, we can continue working together in developing our country through having the best health, through cleaning our country, through double production, such that at the end of the day, it takes us a very short time to utilize the available resources and infrastructure for every Ugandan to join the middle income status. And it is possible because the resources we have, the leadership, the clear leadership we have, we are capable of attaining that status in a very short time than expected.
The councillor Itujo Sub-County Dennis Muhumuza explained that discipline defines the UPDF. He appreciated work done by the army of Ntungamo.
I am very happy. These people have come here, Uganda police, Uganda prisons. Everybody is actually inclusive. To give back to society, they are cleaning the hospital. This has never happened in the entire history of Itojo. I want to thank UPDF for giving back.
Residents of Kasamvu village and its neighborhood in Maki India division have applauded the military police for contributing money for fuel to empty the garbage collection center. Now this follows the launch of the exercise by the officers led by Major General Don Nabasa to clear garbage around Makinje area as one of the activities ahead of the Tarehe Sita celebrations slated for Monday next week.
Smartly dressed in their army uniforms with the ready top berets, military police joined the village leaders, the RCC Machindye, area councillors and Kasese officials for community work. The general cleaning exercise commenced with clearing trenches, collecting garbage and the move to empty a former garbage collection center for Kasamvu and other neighboring villages. The commander of the UPDF military police, Major General Don Nabasa, elaborates military police's engagement with the ordinary citizens for a good cause, especially ahead of the national Tarehe Sita celebrations.
We are here to put our hands together to help the community to clean up this area. We expect some trucks. They are right now fueling. They will be here in a few minutes to load this garbage and take it away. This is one of the activities that we undertake as the UPDF, and symbolic just to give back to the community, working with the local leadership and other stakeholders. These activities are done during the Army Week, which we refer to as Tarehe Sita.
Leaders who included the Kasamvo Village Chairman Richard Bibesho, RCC Machin, Doreen Keita and the residents lauded the military police for promoting hygiene and sanitation.
Tusanyuze kulaba abatale sita okutwegatako nibaja ne batulongoosa mulaba Kasasiro eno era eva mu parishes nga 3.
In this week where UPDF is celebrating Tarehe Sita, we also be celebrating this day because they have come together to help us as leaders and residents to eradicate this problem.
Today we are privileged that we are partnering with our colleagues, the military, to see that this is put away in the community of Kasamvo.
Come on, let's celebrate, and we thank God for this Tarehe Sita, which brought liberation, which brought us, all of us together, and unity is strength.
After this cleaning, Kasese barred the residents from utilizing the area as a garbage collection point. However, the chairman and the residents have queried this as it will threaten lives.
Urge from the LC chairpersons, both the neighboring zone and where we are right now, they work in cooperation and stop these illegal dumping sites. 4 trips in a week as removing this, but not dumping any more garbage.
Kasasiro wano tikijja kusoboka kubanga abatuuze baffe bagenda kukosebwa. Kasasiro igenda kudda mu myala, Kasasiro idde mu makubo.
Ready to struggle. End of the day, we have to keep the garbage. Recently, they are taking the garbage along the road. You will find that mostly the other road, which is taking a strip to police station, housing finance, it was a part of full of garbage within only like 1 week. But think of whereby everyone is ready to be taking the garbage along the road. How will it be?
Even with the national celebrations expected to be held in Mbarara district, military police will march along streets of Kampala in commemoration of the 42nd Tarehe Sita. I'm Ivan Juko for UBC.
The Uganda Security Printing Press is a government facility going to be used to print ballot papers, passports, identity cards, money, among others. The Managing Director, National Enterprise Corporation, Lieutenant General James Mujira, says that the multi-billion project they are undertaking are usually got on merit.
In 1989, National Enterprise Corporation, which is the commercial arm of the Ministry of Defense, was established by the Uganda People's Defense Forces. The National Enterprise Corporation has championed in numerous multi-billion projects of national importance, among which is Kira Motors, which is to assemble electronic and diesel vehicles.
We took up this project, which is KVP, Kira Vehicle Plant, project to have facilities that will host the factory for both electrical and diesel buses, which activities are apparently taking place at Nakasongola, Luwero Industries. We started this work in 2019, October.
The Kingfisher Drilling and Completion Waste Collection, Transportation, Treatment and Disposal Plant is another project managed by NEC. The plant recently launched by the President of Uganda is fully functional with capacity to treat 20,000 cubic meters of liquid waste per hour, as well as 2 metric tons of solid waste per hour.
Oil waste is of 2 types. There is the water waste, which has a wastewater treatment plant, which we already showed you. And number 2, we have a TDU, or a thermal desorption unit, which also treats SBM and the WBM. That is the synthetic based mud or solids and the water based mud.
So the wastewater that will come out of the treated facility will be used to irrigate the plants that we are going to put in the soil today and in the future.
The Uganda Security Printing Factory, also contracted to NEC, is being constructed by UPDF Construction Unit. The government facility will be used for printing of ballot papers, passports, identity cards, money, among others. UPDF has also been essential in road construction works, where many roads have been opened up, like the Entebbe Pediatric Hospital Access Road. The road construction works were extended to Kalangala district, where roads like Kalangala-Murabana are under construction.
The roads mentioned are Ruku-Kalangala, which is 34 kilometers. The second one is Kalangala-Murabana. The road works, so far we have, for all the two roads, we have finished grading works, which was heavy grading. Now it is complete. Installed all culverts. We are so far working on drainage works, which we have so far encased 54 pieces.
We took a step to find out how UPDF is in position to win such big contracts other than other construction companies.
Doing our work professionally, we are producing quality work, so on merit we've been able to win most of these contracts. Even the example which I've just told you of the Changwari project for waste management, this was highly competitive, but we emerged the best and we awarded that contract. So we take these contracts on merit, although some of them, especially related with government and our mother Ministry of Defense, we are engaged as a company under the Ministry of Defense to execute those works.
Lieutenant Bright Duncan Luzindana, a site engineer at Uganda Security Printing Company, has been in the army for 8 years. Luzindana says he has gained enough experience, which will help him get registered as a registered engineer.
As an engineer, you have to have enough projects under your belt, and that includes on how much is the project. First of all, how much are you controlling? How big is the project? And the more big projects you do, the more confidence you get. I've been involved in steel projects. Now this is a purely concrete structure. So there are different facets of design and attributions that go all in. So I would say I'm now ready to take on whatever project that comes, because I've been involved in it all. And then obviously these big projects also give you a push in getting registered. I'm hoping to get registered this year, finishing up with my report. So if it weren't for such projects, then you don't have the confidence to stand in front of a board and defend your capability of being an engineer.
Among other challenges, UPDF says they face challenges when it comes to recruitment of casual laborers. Ordinary citizens cannot work for long hours, something which stalls progress of the projects.
The Ugandan population, here we work from 8 up to 5:30. But when you get somebody like a casual worker, he comes here, he works 2 days, he says, I think that one I cannot handle. They are used to this short hours work. So when it is that full day, tomorrow you are expecting people, you don't see anybody. And you keep recruiting, making new recruits. Those are most of the challenges you have faced.
It's largely funding. The funding you have is not enough. I would be comfortable to undertake big mega projects. The other one we don't have, we are still training people. We need skilled people. We need skilled people who can be absorbed into NEC. As a matter of fact, we have been recruiting engineers, and so lack of skills, then lack of funding. And maybe I can also say that we are a government body, and we have not had in place a policy of government for preferential treatment as NEC. Because if I'm in a government and I'm producing an armored vehicle, why should a government ministry, department or agency go to Germany?
However, the few who persevere working with the army on stipulated projects attest to the conducive working environment provided by the UPDF.
Coming to work with them, I used to think they were tough, but they are not tough people. They are very good people. In fact, if there were more chances of working with them, I could work with them. They are very, very good people.
They talk to you like a normal person. They don't harass us.
Even these members here, these are civilians, the PRO and others. So NEC is a mixture of military and civilians, even the personnel we use. Okay, you find that the leadership in construction is UPDF, because we get engineers from the UPDF engineering brigade, and these ones provide the leadership. But otherwise, we employ civilians, and deliberately, we also employ casuals, local casuals from the local community.
The Managing Director, NEC, Lieutenant General James Mugira, says most of their businesses are conducted under subsidiary companies and joint ventures.
Furthermore, the Democratic Republic of Congo's provinces of North Kivu and Ituri have been under a state of siege by the allied democratic forces and other rebel groups carrying out atrocities against innocent civilians for a long time. But since military operations were launched by the UPDF and FARDC, there is semblance of peace and improved infrastructure.
Years preceding Operation Shujaa witnessed a self-meeting between President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni and President Tshisekedi regarding the construction of roads in eastern Congo. On November 10, 2019, it was agreed that the two countries would implement certain strategic infrastructure projects, including the construction and upgrading of 1,182 kilometers of the main road network connecting the two countries. UNRWA upgraded and improved the road from Haibare, Borasi, Boga, Chabi to Kainama and eased Sector 2 operations in terms of transportation of logistics.
Also that this operation takes is part of the eastern Congo where Burasi, Boga, Chabi and Tokomeka, which is part of Ituri. So it's like we operate in two regions of the eastern DRC where Ituri and North Kivu is involved.
At the front line, UPDF expanded its mission against ADF smaller groups. The Commander Mountain Division and Operation Shujaa, Major General Dick Olum, is now determined to destroy the ADF in the vast forest.
These soldiers operate jointly with the FRDC with the intent of eliminating the LRA, creating peace for the people within the region, and also ensuring security and opening of routes to ensure there is peaceful activities of trade and movement within the region.
The soldiers' welfare is catered for. Balanced diet includes eggs, milk powder, rice, cabbage, meat and posho on their menu. Given the difficult and vast terrain they operate in, UPDF is pushing ADF small combatants into more remote areas, no longer troubled by the armed attacks of ADF.
So we tend to warn our soldiers to always guide against that, to keep it in their mind, in the back of their minds, that UPDF is there for the people. Whether in the DRC or in Uganda, we are there for the people. And that's what we tend to ensure our soldiers don't forget about.
Deployment of troops and military equipment in all key strategic points has weakened the enemy and battling for survival. Major General Dick Olum, Commander Operation Shujaa, says it's high time to hunt down the ADF until there is total restoration of peace.
Visit them, look at their welfare, look at the operation tempo, make a few changes here and there, and see what goes further. This is Sector 2, which undertakes Burasi, Boga, Chabi, and Kainama. It also extends further to areas like Tokomeka, to areas like Ndimu, all in Ituri.
Confirmed ADF camps have been destroyed and the surrounding villages pacified as Congolese civilians testify.
Takuwa pale, watu wengi wataondoka huko nje, wanasikia kwamba watu wako wanalala nyumbani na barabara inakuwa na usalama.
Those remaining are said to have regrouped themselves into 15 to 20 men who managed to escape the UPDF artillery strikes looking for food and medicine for their survival. Haruna Mtesasira, UBC News.
And in other news, market vendors and small-scale business operators in Lukaya along Masaka-Kampala Highway are appealing to government for more financial support to boost up their enterprises. This call has been forwarded to the Vice Chairperson MK Movement for Western Uganda, Balam Barugahara, who has paid a courtesy visit to them.
General Muhoozi Kainerugaba mobilization team under the MK arrangement has continued to mobilize for his support across different areas in Kampala metropolitan.
General Jatusinga okumwagalako musajja yanunula eggwanga lyaffe ate ye musajja omwesimbu ye musajja atatiiririra ate ye musajja omukulembeze w'abantu nga ayagala bakole.
Muhoozi oye twagala General Muhoozi ajja tukulembere mu ggwanga kubanga abavubuka ffenna tulinjasa biggo. Mukama wange president tukusaba n'obwetowaze otukoledde ebintu bingi abantu b'e Kalungu otuzimbidde akatale abavubuka tulina bakazi baffe abaana bonna bali mu katale naye twetaaga ne president omuvubuka.
Tugamba President Museveni oluwummula Muhoozi is our next president. Era tubuulira abantu bonna nti ne bwoba osoma ogenda noga kulinnya ly'omwana kulinnya lya paatiri n'ery'omwana kati Museveni ye paatiri omwana ye Muhoozi.
The team headed by Balamba Rugahara has this evening combed the areas of Lukaya along Masaka Kampala highway.
Mujaffe gyetaagamu okwongeramu okufaayo okututeekamu kasente kuba capital tulina mutono.
Here the business communities have appealed to government for some support.
Abagonja abachapati abenkoko bwebwagala sebo mukama wange akatale kano wakateekamu sente nyingi kateekewo kakyaganya okukola olw'akatale k'abantu ababulijjo katunyigiriza.
Akatale kano abantu ekigabanyisiza abantu okujjamu katale bakazimbira ku musingi gwa wansi tikenkana akana na luguudo ebinnya ekingabola bikiwonko kino abantu basobola kukola ki emmotoka ku parking anti zigule ebyokulya bazikole ki abala kyekyabanyemeseza okujja mu katale kano
nga kyetwetaaga mukama waffe twetaaga okwongera mu bizinensi zaffe akantu sente kale.
At Lukaya Roadway Market, a section of youth who also claim they have different talents, appealing for government support.
Every youth has a goal and a plan, not to be a beggar man. Atoyo musajja ajja tu developing kuba asobola omanya ati this one ayina ekimuluma ono ayina ekimuluma kale embeera bwetyo. Aye nga naffe tulina talenti zaffe muganda wange tuli eno era babbala twagala otukwateko tulina talenti omupiira tugusamba ndi musajja muyimbi nyimba Nigerian songs ne Ugandan songs.
Balamba Rugahara reassured members of this community that the government under the MK setting is very much aware of their daily challenges and ready to step in to assist them.
These young people, I'm telling them to focus on what they are doing and to save as much as they can. The little they are earning, but I'm also appealing to them to maintain the hygiene so that people who stop here to eat, we enjoy. I'm very glad that they are young men. They are promoting poultry business, agriculture, so they buy birds from farmers and they sell birds every day. I've promised to them that the General will one of these days stop by Lukaya on his way home. He will stop here and say hello to them. And then he finds a way of how we can empower them. General's interest is to empower young people.
The mobilization team is highlighting the challenges of those people dealing in small-scale businesses and offering solutions to ensure that they also take their share of the national cake. Robert Onyango, UBC News, Lukaya.
Let's now take a short commercial break. When we return, we'll be back with more UBC News Tonight.
Because we are the backbone.
It's super fast internet. Oh, it's a super camera. It's a super battery.
Phone battery phone.
Yeah, it's a super deal. Get the Kabode Super from MTN now at a reduced initial deposit of only 49,000 shillings and pay the balance in Pola for as low as 833 shillings per day. Grab this Super Kabode deal this Christmas and get 2 GB of free MTN data every month for 8 months. Get the Kabode Super now from any MTN shop countrywide. Everywhere you go, MTN. Regulated by UCC.
It's true what people say, that when I wash and you wash your hands with soap, we'll have less infections as Ugandans. After all, it's hands that handle money. It's hands that feed us. Hands that prepare soil for farming. Hands that we use to learn. And hands that we use for fun.
When I wash and you wash, it means clean hands for all. So, wash your hands with soap and clean water regularly to keep away infections and disease-causing germs. This message is from the National Hand Washing Secretariat with support from UNICEF.
Okay, so these receipts, okay, plus this one equals,
Keeping up with your transaction history the old way.
1,000. Okay, I got this. I don't. Okay, maybe if I can just...
Keeping up with your transaction history with the My Airtel app. You have the power in your pocket. The power to keep an eye on your transaction history. Unlock that power with the My Airtel app. Visit the App Store or Google Play now.
This isn't just a girl. She is the future. This is a teacher, a doctor, a community leader, our future president.
This is our family's pride.
This is my friend.
This is the future of our nation.
She is the future of Uganda, and the policies I enact today will protect her from teenage pregnancy.
She is the hope of our community, and I will talk to others about how we must protect her.
She is our family's pride, and I will protect her from child marriage and talk to her about the dangers of teenage pregnancy. We each have a role to play in empowering our teenage girls to protect them from child marriage and pregnancy, because when we empower them, we empower our nation. Protect the girl, save the nation.
Their support meant so much to me. I stayed focused and was protected from child marriage and teenage pregnancy. I will support other girls against child marriage and teenage pregnancy.
Take action. Report any case of defilement or child marriage to the police or call Sauti 116.
Did you know that you can safely and conveniently make your school fees payments anytime, any school, anywhere using Airtel Money? Oh yes! Simply pick up your phone and dial *185#. Select option 6, school fees. Choose between school pay, peg pay, or shore pay. Enter student number. Enter amount, confirm name and transaction. Enter Airtel Money PIN. A confirmation message will be sent to you upon a successful transaction. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight. We're now taking you into more stories. The police in Kampala has tasked village leaders in Muyenga, Bukasa Ward to revive the old system of registering and monitoring the details of their residents. The area DPC Emmanuel Mafundo was speaking during Bukasa Ward security meeting convened by the ward chairman Yasin Omar at Muyenga Community Hall.
The Deputy IGP Major General Geoffrey Kasese recently launched the model CCTV camera application as one of the measures to beef up security in Muyenga and other surrounding areas. During the parish ward security meeting, police led by Kabalagala DPC SP Emmanuel Mafundo urged residents to revive the old system of registering residents in order to have an effective neighborhood watch in the area.
One of the reasons why criminality thrives in urban settings is the aspect of anonymity. That you're there, staying in Muyenga, but you don't know each other. A person can come, stay for 1 year, and you don't know what he does.
The offense in Kanyuga is assault. And this assault comes out of drunkenness. Most of the places are covered with bars, and they spend their time always from morning to morning in bars taking alcohol. Secondly, there is marijuana.
The ward chairman, Yasin Omar, called for more community policing to curb insecurity in the area.
We call this meeting because now you may think you are secure, you have your guns at home, you are in your car, but they can wait for you at the gate. That's the issue now. As you are waiting to enter, they attack you.
The representative of the people with disabilities from Shujaa zone, John Wamanga, gave an emotional testimony of how thieves stole his wheelchair in broad daylight.
He has moved my wheelchair. That means he's looking for my life. That's next step.
Wamanga's emotional narration led the members to fundraise over 500,000 shillings in cash to enable him buy another wheelchair.
Very much. Thank you very much. May Almighty God bless you so much.
Nicholas Mokalazi, 24, and Fortunate Tusime, 18, also narrated how the criminal gangs attacked them.
He told me, yes, I know the place. The one who was seated behind, because there were 3 on the Bodabi, the one who was seated behind jumped off with a banger and started cutting me.
When I got inside, the man was holding a banger and the television here. And here was a chair, and told me that if you run or shout, I'm going to cut you.
The meeting also resolved to ban scrap collectors in the area. I'm Nafka Farida and Edward Kolinjoko.
Furthermore, the State Minister for Works and Transport, Musa Echeru, has asked Ugandans in Bugisu and Sebei to exploit the advantage of the newly constructed Kapchorwa-Swamu Road and engage in cross-border trade between Uganda and Kenya to improve their living standards. Speaking during the field visit to the new Kapchorwa-Swamu Road, Echeru said that Bugisu and Sebei are a food basket, but only lacked good road infrastructure that could connect them to the cross-border market where they could sell their produce.
The State Minister for Works and Transport, Musa Echeru, says the Swan-Kapchorwa Road is a game changer in the acceleration of cross-border trade between Ugandans in Sebei, Bugisu and other regions. Echeru urged the community to use the new road to conduct cross-border business, sell their produce to Kitale in Kenya and other neighboring cross-border markets.
From Mbale, Kapchorwa, Kwen, Bukwo, and Bukwo to Swam here, and then you can easily enter Kitale. This road is going to be a game changer in this region because the place behind me, that's Uganda, is a big food basket, and all the food that is produced in Sebei is needed in Turkana, is needed in Kacheliba, is needed in Kapenguria, and across even beyond Turkana is also needed by the Nyangatom who come and pick it from Lokchogyo.
Echeru says his ministry, in partnership with the Ministry of Trade, are developing a one-stop border point at Swan to encourage cross-border trade between communities living along the border.
We're also developing a one-stop border point here in Swam. In other words, our customs people can now be able to come and get one service on the Kenya point, all of it together, and then one is different services also in one building.
The project engineer Biha Maiso Godfrey says the 73-kilometer road Kapchorwa-Swan project is worth 365 billion and is funded by the government of Uganda in partnership with the African Development Bank.
73-kilometer road, the progress so far is close to around 80%, and we had a number of components, majorly around 12 bridges, which have been all done. And the other has been the one-stop border post, onto which we are currently now constructing. As for the time for completion, we expect around July, we should be able to complete the project. Some of the challenges that we faced was the inclement weather that we faced on this project. The other was delay to compensate due to the budget separation.
Some of the residents that included Bukwo chairperson Cheptegei Marisa and the Kwen County Member of Parliament Chemogezi William commended government for the construction of the road, saying it is set to enhance trade among the local community.
We appreciate the government for their efforts to offer us a good road, that is Kapchorwa-Swamu Road.
This is what we needed more than anything.
So this road is almost everything to us.
National Water and Sewerage Corporation has announced that many of their clients in western part of Kampala city will not have water for the next 2 weeks. This follows a mechanical failure at Gaba pumping station. But the general manager, Kampala, Mahmoud Lutaya, says that the fault was realized and the team from National Water is doing its best to fix it.
This is the water supply unit at Gaba station that is temporarily having issues due to power outbreak in one of the pumps. Now, National Water informs residents residing in western part of Kampala city that there is going to be a limited water supply.
It's not that the whole system is down, but we have a problem with 2 of our pumps. That line has 4 pumps, 3 are supposed to run parallel, and then we have one that runs on standby in case there's any problem. So we had a power challenge, and the panels for the 2 pumps got a problem. With any systems, you're always going to have those few instances that are going to happen, and this is one of them. Right now, it has nothing to do with power supply, but it has to do with the circuit that got damaged when we had fluctuations in power.
General Manager for Kampala, Mahmoud Lutaya, says the fault has not affected the entire Kampala city, explaining that the National Water and Sewage Corporation team is doing its best to fix it.
We are getting those specialized equipment that are affected already. They have been shipped out. We expect them to get them very soon. And like we promised, within 1 week or 2 weeks, we have the problem solved. Right now, we're supposed to run at 100% capacity to fulfill the demand in that area, but we are operating at around 75%. That's why that little water we have right now, it's not little, but it's not enough. It's only 75% what we're supposed to deliver. Is what we're trying now to make sure that at least everyone is able to get some water, and some customers are already getting a bit inconvenience, and we apologize for that.
Lutaya, however, advises customers to use water sparingly during this period because it's going to be on and off some days until the equipment is fully functional. Joseph Bule, UBC.
It's super fast internet. Oh, it's a super camera. It's a super battery.
Phone battery full.
Yeah, it's a super deal. Get the Kabode Super from MTN now at a reduced initial deposit of only 49,000 shillings and pay the balance in Pola for as low as 833 shillings per day. Grab this Super Kabode deal this Christmas and get 2 GB of free MTN data every month for 8 months. Get the Kabode Super now from any MTN shop countrywide. Everywhere you go, MTN. Regulated by UCC.
It's true what people say, that when I wash and you wash your hands with soap, we'll have less infections as Ugandans. After all, it's hands that handle money. It's hands that feed us. Hands that prepare soil for farming. Hands that we use to learn. And hands that we use for fun.
When I wash and you wash, it means clean hands for all. So, wash your hands with soap and clean water regularly to keep away infections and disease-causing germs. This message is from the National Hand Washing Secretariat with support from UNICEF.
Are you tired of high fees and slow transfer time when sending money? Look no further. Airtel Money is here to revolutionize the way you move your money. We have revised our rates, and now sending money from Airtel to other networks in Uganda, East Africa, and to the rest of the world has never been more affordable. Plus, you can trust Airtel Money to get your money where it needs to go quickly and safely. Simply dial *185# and start sending money. Switch to Airtel Money today and experience unbeatable rates and top-notch services for all your local and international money transfer needs. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Welcome back to the UBC News Tonight. We're now taking you into the world of sports. Match day 3 at Pursuit Swimming has brought the best out of all swimmers that are aiming at a good start for their respective teams. This was at the British school Kampala that is being hosted since the start of this Pursuit Swimming that is now in its 3rd year.
Swimmers, take your mark.
It's been a jolly good sight at British School Kampala as Pursuit Swimming witnessed its 3rd match day. Now in its 3rd edition, Pursuit Swimming is of 5 teams including Talons, Astros, Colts, Flames and Jets.
So far everybody's done pretty well in freestyle. We are seeing kids pulling much faster times. The next match we expect them to be flying, so we hope they'll be able to give us better results in butterfly. But basing on the previous season's results and what we're having today, we have an improvement of around 90%, which is pretty good.
The competition is evident with all swimmers looking to get their teams an early advantage at this, the only swimming event that rewards cash for excellence.
The competition is stiff. We are seeing the table changing over and over again. Every single match, the results are totally different. And in fact, Talons has been able to hold it for the 1st and 2nd match. After today's match, I don't think they'll be able to stay on top by the time we finish the 4th match. So the competition is stiff, and the teams are looking to be very balanced. In fact, you cannot predict who is going to win that specific match at a particular time.
The action of the day had 10 events, including 100 free, 4x50 individual medley, 8x25 fly, 12x25 back, and 4x25 fly. By the end of the day, 2-time champions Talons maintained top spot with 12 points, but only just, because new entrants Flames are just 1 point behind on 11. Colts and Astros are tied for 3rd with 8 points, while Jets is rock bottom with a 6 ahead of next Friday's action that is highly anticipated. John Barnes, Sentamo, UBC News.
Thank you for being a part of the UBC News Tonight. My name is Wadulo Mark Arnold, Mugalu Muhammad in Sign Language. Have yourselves a lovely night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Franz Fanon said, "Each generation must, out of relative obscurity, discover its mission, fulfill it, or betray it." I know a man who, in fulfilling